Speaker.
I call Peter Parauni.
Tihewa Moriora, Tupu Moriora ki te whehau ki te ao marama. Tūwahi poto tēnei he māngai mo te rōpū Aotearoa tuatai. Ki te tautoko ngā mihi I mihi ngia aku tuakana. Ki te hakatau ia koutou aku whanaunga mai te Hiku. Arohanau kia māua a winitana, nā ta mea I haka huangia toku tuakana ko waimā no ta hau kāinga. Engari hore kau ia māua I rongo tau māua ingoa. Nā reira kei mohe mai koutou ia enena. Kia hatia, e tika ana kia mau, kia tukunātu ngā mihi, kia rātou mā. Kia rātou I haka timata mai tēnei kaupapa. Aha koa ka hore rātou I konei kei wanganui a tātou ātinana. Nā reira, ka nui taku mihi kia rātou, me tēnā o ngā mate e hingātu I te rātu wiki marama o ta tau hoki. Nā reira e tika ana ka nui ngā mihi, ka hore kau ke ngā kōrero, te puna kōrero I mimiti kia rātou, kia hatia. Engari e tika ana kia mihi hoki kia rātou. Nā reira kia rātou, tātou, te hungora, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Tēnā hoki koutou, aku mātua, aku whanaunga karanga maha. I hara mai tawhiti, ke tai mai ke wainui a tātou. Aha koa, e ahua rere ke ngā e nei haora, ki te haka puta mai ngā pire o te whare nei. Kia hatia, ko te mea nui ko puta mai I tēnei rā. Mr. Speaker, I stand on behalf of New Zealand First and to support the sentiments expressed by those who have stood before me and to acknowledge our relations from the far north who have travelled a long distance to be here in spite of the challenges facing them, not only in terms of arranging travel, but in terms of the social and economic difficulties they faced in the north. I want to start off by prefacing this contribution with reference to the comments made by the Minister in regards to Dame Whina Cooper and the Land March of 1975. Can I say that the idea of a land march actually had its genesis at a meeting of the Ngāti Land Retention Committee, where the point of debate was their concern at the amount of coastal land that was being lost or taken under Public Works Act for public utilities. And it was at that meeting that the idea of a land march should take place. And later that year, it did take place. And I'm proud to say that we have in this House one person who was actually at that meeting and can attest to what I am saying, and that's the Right Honourable Winston Peters. Mr. Speaker, this bill is a combination of a long journey made by a number of iwi. And can I say, I especially want to acknowledge Ngai Takoto, the fact that the Crown has recognised you as an iwi. And here am I, from Ngāti Hine, my own family, Paraone, exceeds more than Ngai Takoto. And yet you're recognised as a iwi, but the Crown won't recognise Ngāti Hine as an iwi. Kia hatia. I know the battles and the journey that you've had to fight and to travel. And so I'm prepared on behalf of Ngāti Hine to make that same journey. Mr. Speaker, the bill concerns the following iwi: Ngāti Kuri, Ngai Takoto, Te Aupōuri, and Te Raroa. Sadly, it doesn't include our relatives of Ngāti Kahu. And Ngāti Kahu have particular reasons why they have chosen to stand outside of this settlement. And I'll allude to those later on in my speech. But suffice to say, Mr. Speaker, the journey that has been travelled by these iwi should be recognised, and each of them should be commended for the perseverance, the tenacity they've had to take to get to this point. The other thing that I am quite proud about this settlement, it's taken place because of the actions of one of their own, and that's the Honourable Maturata. Because without his contribution to this whole area of treaty settlement, his foresight to establish the tribunal has led to a number of settlements taking place. And while a number have already taken place, this is the first substantial settlement that has taken place from his tribal area. And I just want to again acknowledge the Honourable Maturata and his foresight. And I can recall at the time people not supporting him, but with his tenacity and perseverance, he was able to see the establishment of the tribunal. Mr. Speaker, I'll refer to each of the iwi. First of all, Ngāti Kuri. Ngāti Kuri's claim is based on the fact that the claim failed to recognise it in the first instance. Secondly, it failed to return land that it had taken unjustifiably. However, the settlement does restore some of that mana. And the emphasis is on some, Mr. Speaker, because as we already know, that while these settlements are regarded as full and final, they never ever fully compensate the claimants for what they have lost. In regards to Te Aupōuri, like Ngāti Kuri, I want to acknowledge their negotiators. They have pursued the settlement with great determination. They've faced many challenges, and it has been a long fight for them. The settlement bill sees the demise of the Te Aupōuri Māori Trust Board. And I can recall, Mr. Speaker, making comment about this in the first reading, given that I can recall a number of the original members of that trust board. Mr. Speaker, I'm quite taken back by the bell because previous speakers had much longer time to speak. So those iwi who I haven't acknowledged, I acknowledge you now. But I want to conclude. I want to conclude my speech by saying we support settlement being made. However, I want to refer to the fact that Ngāti Kahu applied to the Wellington High Court to question the settlement and how it affected them. The court subsequently asked the tribunal to reconsider their position. That has not been dealt with by the tribunal. And while we support the right of each iwi to make their settlement, we do it with some caution in the fact that we have an iwi who will be affected by this settlement, and without the tribunal, tribunal considering the direction of the High Court. Mr. Speaker, I just want to thank you for your perseverance, but I want to say that this attempts to settle the muri whenua claims, which involve complex, overlapping claims that have been made for many years, and hence the actions taken by Ngāti Kahu, and now reflected in the protest action that has been taken at the Kaitaia airport, is just a mere reflection of what this settlement bill has on Ngāti Kahu and their standing. And I want to say that for Ngāti Kahu, their initial concerns were basically that they oppose those parts of the claim settlement bill that seek to deny the rights and entitlements of Ngāti Kahu, and I don't think anyone would object to that. And secondly, Ngāti Kahu whānau and hapu hold mana whenua, mana moana over their lands, territories and resources, and the Crown have failed to have regard for their customary associations and interests. Now, having said that, New Zealand First will support the passing of this legislation, because we think that it's unfair to hold up this settlement where other iwi are ready to proceed. I also want to conclude by saying that while listening to the debate, I received an email message from a member of Te Raroa stating that their particular whānau hapu did not support the settlement. And so I've responded by saying, well, the best I can do is to have it recorded on the records of Parliament. What that does is signals the challenges that each of you will face after this settlement. And I'll reiterate the words that my father said to me when I was chairman of the Ngāti Hine Runanga. He said, boy, never forget to look behind you. Because if there's no one there, then you've got to ask yourself, who are you leading? Nā reira I roto au a kupu kōrero, ngā mihi hoki kia koutou, kia tautarangi Māria I te wā e noho nei I konei, I te wā hoki I hiko e hoki ki te wā kāinga. Nā reira tēnā koutou, kia ora mano tātou.